next principle builds upon that principle. Life will not go well. It's called the horror show. I have to gulp every time because this is where I get anxious. My heartbeat starts to increase. My anxiety starts to rise because I'm trying to remember that sometimes life doesn't go well. Like last week, my daughter's car broke down and I had to engage in a fire drill to get it fixed. But sometimes these things happen at a far greater level, a horror show level. And I usually try to make something up, something reasonable, something that could happen to illustrate that fact. I have a hard time with this. This is really, really difficult for me. Like I should, like if I wanted to build upon the example that I just gave of my daughter's car breaking down, what I would do with the horror show is say, it could have been much worse. It could have been that Emily might have been driving the car and had a head-on collision with stopped cars on the freeway that she didn't realize. Maybe she was texting or distracted in some way, or maybe she passed out in the car and collided head-on with another vehicle or a wall or a divider or something like that, and was killed instantly. Or worse, was not killed instantly, but maybe was trapped inside the car, which, here's where it gets hard, folks, which caught on fire and burned my daughter to death, screaming and writhing inside the car. I know. You're thinking, what a monster, Kurt, to be thinking and imagining that of your own daughter. And I feel like a monster going there. This is really hard. Usually, and I'm restraining myself today, usually I resort to expletives. I'll say the F word and the S word and all kinds of things because this pisses me off. It's a horrible thing. And I subject my loved ones to this because that's where it hurts most. I want to go where the most pain will be. Because that could happen. That could happen to my daughter. That could happen to my wife. It could happen to me. My dogs could get run over in the street. I mean, I can always keep them on a leash. You get the point, right? This is a Stoic exercise, okay? And if you're not feel familiar or comfortable with Stoic uses or applications of apathy to life's horrors, then this will sound monstrous to even go there. This is not something we do in normal modern society to reflect upon the terrible things that can come. And I'm not a fan of this. But I do it because even though I'm not a fan, I know the value that comes of being prepared for the worst. And it doesn't mean that our thoughts linger there, right? It's like a sea captain setting out with their ship on a voyage. A good sea captain will imagine the worst. Imagine the ship running afoul under the rocks, going under, leaving the captain and the crew, or at least those that survive, shipwreck and stranded on some rocky outlet like Pitcairn Island, or what is that one island? I can't think of it. Pitcairn's a good example, right? The wise captain, the prudent captain, the Stoic captain will imagine that scenario, will cover their ears to that, and will prepare his or her life accordingly so that when it comes, because it does come, the captain can keep his cool up on the poop deck, barking out commands to prepare the lifeboats, provision them with supplies, get the men over the side, into the boats, away from the ship that's floundering, and off to safety. So too, the wise Stoic, prepared and forewarned of potential horror, is ready to exercise more calmly and with collected resolve and dispatch the efforts to get through to the other side.